Hello and welcome to the news on NTA International. I'm Ogochkuka Ona. We are streaming live on Vision TV 247 and other social media platforms on your screen. And now the headlines. Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu is dead. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken heads to Mexico to discuss a surge in illegal migration. Turkey Parliament Committee approves Sudan's NATO bid. And now details. The Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu is dead. According to our family source, Akeredolu died this Wednesday after a prolonged battle with leukemia. The Owo-born politician and senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN, was 67 years old. The ailing governor returned to Nigeria in September following a 3-month medical leave in Germany, and only recently proceeded on another one after he was directed by President Bola Tinubu to hand over power to his deputy, Lucky Aiyedatiwa. His deputy, Aiyedatiwa, has been the state's acting governor. And now President Bola Tinubu has mourned the passing of Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, describing him as not just a friend and associate, but the departed leader was a brother and a soulmate.
In his strident advocacy against every form of injustice in our country through the instrumentality of the law as a senior advocate, Attorney General of his beloved state, as President of the Nigerian Bar Association and Governor of Ondo State. The President says in challenging moments of statehood, when agents of darkness spread their tentacles across our country, Rotimi was a strong voice in the wilderness, calling on us to rethink our security architecture as we can have a more secure nation. His unrelenting advocacy led to the birth of the local police in the southwest. Recalling how Rotimi and himself started as joint members of the progressive family, in the president's grief, he has called Rotimi's wife, Betty, and acting governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, to commiserate with them and urge them to take heart over this national tragedy. He notes that Governor Akeredolu was not just a friend and associate, but also a brother and a soulmate. His death is a blow to our governing APC and the progressive family, as we are diminished by it.
And similarly, the federal government of Nigeria commiserates with the Akeredolu family, the government and people of Ondo State, the Southwest Geopolitical Zone, and the Nigeria Governors Forum on the passing of Arakunri Rotimi Akeredolu, Governor of Ondo State. In a statement signed by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, Arakunri Akeredolu was a towering presence on the legal landscape, rising to lead the Nigerian Bar Association at a critical moment in our nation's journey. He capped this record of professional excellence with distinguished service as a public servant and administrator, winning 2 consecutive terms as elected governor of Ondo State. His courage and dynamism found recognition in his emergence as the chairman of the Southwest Governors Forum, a position that he deployed ceaselessly to champion justice, security, equity, and true federalism. As a committed member of the ruling All Progressives Congress and a strong symbol of the progressivism upon which the party and administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu are founded, Arakunri Akeredolu could always be counted upon for his forthrightness and devotion to the well-being of people. At the grassroots, these multitudes whose causes he championed tirelessly will never forget him. His developmental legacies as governor of Ondo State will surely stand the test of time. Government mourns him deeply and prays for the repose of his soul. The statement added. And now here is a tribute by Ifeoluwa Omosule on the life and times of the Rotimi Akeredolu man, fondly called Aketi.
The Owo-born Nigerian lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria served as governor from 2017 till date. He was, until his death, the chairman Governors Forum for Southwest Zone. Akeredolu adopted the prefix Arakunrin instead of Mr., while his nickname is Aketi. He started his political journey as Attorney General of Ondo State between 1997 and 1999. He had his education at Aquinas College, Akure, Loyola College, Ibadan, Oyo State, and Comprehensive High School, Ayetoro, for his secondary school education and higher school education. Aketi then proceeded to the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, to study law, and he graduated in 1977. He was called to the Nigerian bar in 1978. He became a senior advocate of Nigeria (SAN) in 1998, and 10 years later, he emerged as the president of the Nigerian Bar Association in 2008.
Without God, I am nothing, and I believe in that. Maybe by my name, Oluwarotimi, God was taught. Without God, I'm nothing.
Akeredolu was also a managing partner at the law firm of Olujimi and Akeredolu, which he co-founded with Chief Akin Olujimi, a former Attorney General and Minister of Justice of Nigeria. He died on Wednesday after a prolonged battle with leukemia. In his lifetime, Akeredolu was a legal practitioner par excellence and an astute politician loved by all and sundry in Ondo State and across the country. He was also the patron Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, Oyo State branch. Oluwarotimi, a dogged fighter, tenacious advocate, and diligent solicitor, Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Odunayo Akeredolu SAN is an accomplished family man. A detribalized Nigerian, Aketi was happily married to Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu and blessed with children. He would be remembered for his courage, patriotism, and immeasurable contributions to Nigeria's constitutional, socio-political development, and his stand for the establishment of the security outfits in the southwest called Amotekun. In Akure, Feoluwa Amoshili, NTA News.
In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu sympathizes with the NTAi family, the government, and the people of Kano State over the passing of Gali Umar NTAi, former Speaker of the House of Representatives. In a statement signed by the Special Advisor to the President, Media and Publicity, Ajurin Gelali, President Tinubu expresses profound grief at the loss, recalling the contributions of the late ex-lawmaker to nation building through legislation, advocacy, and policy. The President recalls Speaker NTAi's determined struggle to defend the functionality and role of the legislature in governance, describing him as a disciplined and resolute politician, and prays for the repose of the soul of the departed and comfort for those who mourn this painful loss. Similarly, the federal government of Nigeria commiserates with the NTAi family and the government and people of Kano State on the passing of Alhaji Gali Umar NTAi. In a statement signed by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, it says, as the second Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives in the Fourth Republic, NTAi earned a name and reputation for himself as a committed Democrat and a fearless politician who resolutely believed in the doctrine of separation of powers that is at the foundation of all functioning democracies. He fought and survived many political battles and helped cement the reputation of the House of Representatives as a pro-people institution. The legacies of his leadership of the Fourth House of Representatives are still very much with us in the legislation passed and the institutions and parliamentary precedents established. May Almighty Allah grant his family and loved ones the fortitude to bear this irreparable loss, the statement added. Meanwhile, some Nigerians have condoled with the Kano State government over the death of the former Speaker, House of Representatives Gali NTAi, and the Ondo State government over the death of Governor Rotimi Akeredolu.
Niger State Governor Mohammed Umar Bago has condoled with the Kano State government over the death of the former Speaker House of Representatives Gali Umar NTAi and the Ondo State government over the death of Governor Rotimi Akeredolu. The Niger State Governor, in a statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Boloji Ibrahim, described the deaths as colossal losses to the nation's democracy. The governor acknowledged their immense contributions to the growth and development of their states in particular, and Nigeria in general. He observed that there were courageous politicians whose wealth of experience in the political landscape of Nigeria will be greatly missed. In the same vein, Benue State Governor Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia expresses sadness over the death of Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu and the former Speaker of the House of Representatives who represented the good people of Kano Municipal Federal Constituency, Gali Umaru Naaba. In a statement signed by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Benue State, the Governor described the death of the duo as a great loss, saying the lives they touched and their various contributions towards the development of the country will be greatly missed, not only by the people of Ondo and Kano states, but by the entire nation. He praised God to grant the souls of the deceased eternal rest and their immediate family the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss. Similarly, Ondo State Governor Dapo Abiodun has described the death of his Ondo State counterpart, Rotimi Akeredolu, as tragic. In a condolence message to the acting governor of Ondo State, Lucky Ayedatiwa, the family of the deceased and the people of Ondo State, the governor Abiodun described Akeredolu, who until his death was the chairman of the Southwest Governors Forum, as a dogged fighter. The governor said that the late Akeredolu spearheaded major initiatives that brought positive changes and advancements in healthcare, infrastructure, the education sector in Ondo State. In the same vein, Governor Abiodun Oyebanji has expressed his condolences on the death of his Ondo State counterpart, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu SAN, describing it as a monumental loss to the Yoruba nation and the country at large. Oyebanji, in a statement by his special advisor on media, Yinka Oyebode, said he was devastated by the news of the death of the Ondo State Governor, who was once president of the Nigerian Bar Association. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Now, the acting governor of Ondo State, Lucky Ayedatiwa, has been sworn in as a substantive governor and seventh executive governor of Ondo State. The swearing-in ceremony was presided over by the Chief Judge of Ondo State, Olusegun Odushola, in the presence of top government functionaries, religious leaders, party faithful, and other eminent personalities.
Protect and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I want to urge the people of Ondo State to continue to remember us in their prayers as we continue to emplace good governance in our dear state. May God continue to bless the people of Ondo State.
The training of the new governor became necessary after the demise of the late governor, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, who passed on in the early hours of Wednesday, 27th of December, 2023. The federal government of Nigeria strongly condemns the recent killings in Bokos and Barkin Ladi local government areas of Plateau State. A release signed by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said the federal government would like to reiterate the commitment of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration to securing every inch of Nigerian territory and ensuring that all forms of criminality by terrorists, bandits, and militants are tackled boldly and decisively. President Tinubu has directed the security agencies to ensure that the perpetrators of these heinous killings are fished out and brought to justice. The federal government acknowledges the deep pains being felt by all the victims of these attacks and pledges to scale up collaboration and supports the state government in its collective task of ensuring lasting peace and security in Nigeria. At the federal level, all hands are on deck across the security and intelligence agencies to scale up intelligence gathering and crisis response efforts. Now, Vice President Kashim Shettima has given a marching order to security agencies to, as a matter of urgency, fish out those who perpetrated plateau killings to face the wrath of the law. Senator Shettima gave the directive while commiserating with the government and people of Plateau State over the crisis that claimed many lives and property in Bokos, Mangu, and Barakiladi local government areas. Ilyasu Yakubu reports.
25 communities were affected by the crisis in the 3 local government areas of Plateau State, with many lives lost. Vice President Kashim Shettima said the federal government will do everything possible to put a stop to these incessant killings across the country. He expressed sadness over what he described as unnecessary taking of human lives and appeal for peace to reign in the crisis areas. Plateau State Governor Caleb Manasseh Mufwan thanked the Vice President for the show of solidarity and promised to work with all relevant stakeholders for the entrenchment of peace in Plateau State. National Security Advisor Malan Nuhu Ribado is saddened by the incessant killings on the plateau and promised to deploy all necessary intelligence to stop the act. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has been directed by the Vice President to immediately commence distribution of relief materials to cushion the effects of the crisis. The Vice President later convened a meeting with traditional rulers and opinion leaders to bring lasting solutions to the perennial crisis in Plateau State. From Bokos local government area of Plateau State.
And this is news on NTA International. We are streaming live on Vision TV 247 and other social media platforms on your screen. We have more reports after the break. And thank you for staying tuned. President Bola Tinubu is assuring Nigerians that his administration has taken some transformational steps with positive results that will soon manifest in the economy of the country. President Tinubu gave the reassurance at the meeting with Lagos stakeholders, which included political and traditional leaders. State House correspondent Musbao Dan Wahab reports.
A long wait paid off as the assemblage witnessed the arrival of President Bola Tinubu, a leader they have apparently missed on the account of his national and international assignments. It was a grand reception for the father of New Lagos in Marina, and equally a rare opportunity well utilized at a family-like gathering. In a reassurance of his determination to work for a greater Nigeria, President Tinubu acknowledged the challenging time in town. But believing in his team, the president pointed out that every decision taken by his government has been calculated in the best interest of the country.
We have to run an inclusive government. There are some areas of our country still suffering devastation of hunger and lack of education, which is the proper tool to fight poverty. We are, and I want you to join the campaign to start the enrollment of our children into schools, building more schools, giving food to our children in schools.
He, however, emphasized on collaboration among the tiers of government to ensure development in education, health, and other sectors to fight poverty and terrorism.
I assure you, we will work hard to give you the best economy and the best opportunity you can imagine.
But despite the global challenges which Nigeria has shared from and the socio-economic realities in the country, his followers here are proud of the policies and decisions taken so far at the center.
You have not looked back. You have shown the audacity of hope. You have shown the audacity of your belief, of your resolve to take Nigeria to another level.
Expect that Nigeria will be prosperous with your vision. It is a process. Nigeria has to be patient for that process. There's no gain without pain.
Independence of state houses of assembly and local government autonomy are part of the issues put before the president to address.
We have 30-something houses of assembly. One cannot stand alone. We must support us. We must put everything to help other houses of assembly so that we will stop idea of removing the roof of House of Assembly. We will stop the ideas of blocking the House of Assembly. We will stop demolition of House of Assembly.
And in the midst of their request, they appreciated all development foundations the former governor in the state had laid for generations to come to build on and benefit. From Lagos, Musbau, Dan Wahab, NTA News.
And now global top shipping firms are returning to the Red Sea routes after United States-led efforts to prevent attacks on cargo ships by Houthi rebels. Let's get details from Kolo Mohammed.
The shipping firms stopped using the Red Sea road after fierce attacks that disrupted haulage via the Suez Canal. Before now, attacks on ships in the Red Sea forced cargo delivery through the longer and more expensive journey. The Suez Canal is the quickest sea route between Asia and Europe. Shipping firms are now reviewing whether it is safe to return after the United States announced multinational maritime security initiative in the Red Sea in response to attacks on vessels by Yemen's Houthis. Plans are said to be on the way for a gradual increase in the number of vessels transiting through the Suez Canal while constantly monitoring the situation. A decision on how to proceed is said to be expected tomorrow.
10 to 15% of global trade moves through the Red Sea. So keeping that trade flowing without interruption or harassment is important for all of our countries. And it's vital to maintaining the rules-based international order.
Over 25 ships were redirected last week to avoid the Suez Canal. Now, most global shipping companies are preparing to resume haulage via the Red Sea, leading to the Suez Canal, which is said to be not only shorter, but promotes the efficiency of ships and also much cheaper for maritime trading. Kolo Muhammad, NTA News.
Sweden's NATO bid has been stalled for months amid opposition from Turkey and Hungary. It was further complicated after President Recep Tayyip Erdogan linked it to Ankara's request for F-16 fighter jets from its ally, the United States. The Foreign Affairs Committee of Turkey's parliament on Tuesday approved Sweden's bid to join NATO, placing the Nordic country one step closer to joining the military alliance. The measure must now be approved by the full parliament, but no date has been set for the vote, and the head of the Foreign Affairs Committee told reporters not to expect it to happen quickly. Since Sweden applied to join NATO after the Russian invasion of Ukraine last year, Turkey has repeatedly delayed the process, saying that Sweden, the United States and Canada all needed to meet Turkish demands. Now, both Sweden and Finland applied to join NATO, a process that requires unanimous support from the alliance's 31 member states. Turkey initially blocked them both, and although it has since relented on Finland, paving the way for that country to join NATO in March, Turkey has continued to hold out on Sweden. Multiple NATO leaders have said that Sweden has done all that is needed to join, and Turkey's repeated delay in approving Sweden's entry have exasperated other members of the alliance who view Turkey as leveraging its position for domestic gain. The Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, in addition to arguing that Sweden needs to crack down more on dissidents whom his country considers terrorists, has linked the approval of Sweden's accession to disputes that Turkey has with other NATO members. Mr. Erdogan has also noted that the decision on Sweden lies with the Turkish parliament and not with him, although his party and its political allies hold a command share of votes that would easily pass the measure. Now, Russia is to soon deploy the newest in its assemblage of 21st century assault weapons against Ukraine. Kolo Mohammed reports that testing the self-propelled artillery has been successfully completed and mass production has commenced. Sergei Chemizov, head of Russian Rostec, says the first pilot batch will be delivered by the end of 2023, saying they will appear in the front line soon. He said howitzers of the class are needed to provide an advantage over Western artillery models in terms of firing range. The howitzers, with a range of up to 70 kilometers, are equipped with a modern 2A88 cannon of 152 millimeters caliber with a firing rate of more than 10 rounds per minute, as well as a modern system for automating the processing of gun pointing, target selection, and navigation. And now is weather update. And that's the news on NTA International. Thank you for watching. I'm Ogochukwuka Ona.